Well, hello there, folks. Today I have been contemplating a way to allow other people to understand the difference in the vegetation in California and how it burns compared to perhaps maybe you do prescribed burns in Oklahoma and you think that maybe all vegetation is the same. So, what I'd like to show, I've got a couple of burnable materials here. We have some actual cannabis flower. I have some what we call white sage from Southern California. I have some wooden matches, and I have a piece of charcoal. All right. Also, I have a gas torch. Okay. So one of the first things we're going to do here is we're just going to take a match and a single piece of. This is part of the soft coast chaparral. This only grows actually between northern Baja and basically Santa Barbara, maybe a little further north of Santa Barbara, but not much. And then within the coast range. So this is part of the soft chaparral. This isn't even the hard, dry chaparral. That's the real extreme stuff. This is the the coast scrub complex that's less volatile, has less organic volatile compounds. All right. So in cannabis, the odors are volatile organic compounds, right? We want high contents of that so that we can get the wonderful flavors and side effects that come from the inner synergies of these different terpenes and things like that, right? So terpenes are organic volatile compounds. You heat it up too much, they turn to a gas, and then they light on fire, all right? So like pine needles, the sap, excuse me, well, these are volatile organic compounds. Terpene used to be squeezed out of pine trees, right, and eastern pines, and so yes, there are volatile trees all over the place, and stuff will burn, but there's a huge difference in, all right. So what we're going to show you here is I've got a leaf of chaparral. We call this green gasoline. This particular one is a fine soft gray color. It rarely ever has an actual green color to it, right? Sometimes the stems will get a bit of a little greenness to it, but it's a fleshy plant. And it will do just like this no matter if it's dry or wet, if it's got grass underneath it and lights it up, all right? Because all it needs is, we're going to look at the phosphorus burning on the match, all right? You'll look at the wood burning, okay? And we got surface to volume ratios that affect how things burn, okay? And but you're going to notice that even a high pine sap, a match intended for lighting other things on fire, does not compare to the green gasoline plant, okay? So we strike that, right? And that's a chemical burn, and here we just have hot, fast, volatile, gone, all right? The flame is way bigger, and then you have this that will blow in the wind, okay? So, you know, if you have a pine tree that is the exposure to it, you're gonna have a fire, and then it goes out. So here we have embers that continue to burn, blow in the wind, all right? And you saw there was way more flame coming out of that thing than came out of that, even with the chemical starting point, right? Okay, so now we want nice volatile cannabis. What happens when we light a match? And this is the difference in your stinkiest weed to the plants growing around on Southern California hillside, all right? So I got all that surface area. It doesn't even stay lit, okay? So, like, we're striving to get that, but these plants in California, they've got multitudes. Oh, that smells so good. That takes me back. This is some Nigerian sativa. It takes me back to the brickweed back in. It was all African-derived sativas that went over with the slave trade to South America and Mexico. Wow, that's delightsome. All right, so you can see those are the volatile oils, and that's what happens. And this one here has this huge surface to volume area, way more material. But again, it didn't even burn through; just those oils burn, right? And it goes out. Whereas the chaparral continues to burn. So then, but what does it take to get a piece of charcoal to burn? The blowtorch, right? And even then, it's shooting sparks everywhere because it's got a little moisture trapped in it. And that's what catches that on fire. But you ain't catching that with a match, right? So there's a huge difference when those hot, dry winds are blowing. You can get solid material to burn that wouldn't normally. But you also have all of these plants that indicatively have these massive amounts of oils in them that burn hot, fast, like gasoline and immediately. All right. I don't know. I hope you learned something from that and get a different perspective of you would have required Niagara Falls amount of water to stop the fires with those 100-mile-an-hour winds. Have a great day. Go out in the world, make it a better place with the meat suit you was given to do it in.